Good evening, I'm Bonnie Bowman. A massive mudslide made a mess of a mountain lodge last night. Heavy rain caused the slide on Sheep Mountain near the lodge, which is also the starting point for the Fireweed 400 bike race. KTVA 11's Heather Hinsey is live near the lodge. So Heather, what does it look like out there?
Well, Bonnie, the mud has taken over the tail end of the Sheep Mountain Airport runway. It's about 6 feet deep in some spots. Organizers are thankful it happened last night because tonight there will be a couple hundred people camped out on the runway. Luckily, nobody got hurt and the race went off without a hitch. It's a massive debris field now, but the mudslide started small.
It was just building and building. It was just like a giant brown Slurpee coming down the strip.
The staff alerted me to what sounded like a rock slide, and so we went outside, and there was mud and debris just cascading off the cliff faces up there.
Sheep Mountain Lodge owner Mark Fleener knew his property wasn't in harm's way, but it turns out his airplane was. One of the race directors alerted him the Super Cub was going down fast.
I had to move it at the very last second. It was actually stuck in the mud.
And it took all his engine to get it out of there, all the power of the engine. And then the wave hit his back of the plane and sort of broke it loose, and he was able to power out of there.
Watch out for each other out there.
Sheep Mountain Lodge is the starting point for the Fireweed 400, a bike race to Valdez and back. The race began as scheduled. Mark says it's a good thing the mudslide happened before the cyclists took off.
And normally we've got between 500 and 1,000 people camping on the runway, which thankfully it was closed at the time, so don't have to worry about airplanes landing right now.
This isn't the first time the area has had this problem. Mark says another slide happened about 7 years ago.
This seems to be a little bit bigger, and I think at that time they were saying it was a 100-year event, but not quite 100 years.
As for those cars stuck in the mud, they belong to Mark's neighbor who calls himself the Volvo Doctor. Mark says there are about 80 vehicles on the property, many of which are now entombed in sludge.
Here we're looking at between 4 and 6 feet deep. You know, it's I can't put a cubic foot, but it's immense. It's enormous.
They want to get as many of the cars out as they can.
Now's the time before this stuff sets up like concrete.
And get the road from the runway to the lodge back open again. It's a big undertaking that will take hard work, heavy machinery, and hopefully the rain will hold off. Now, it's been beautiful weather out here today for the Fireweed 400 and 400 relay cyclists who took off this afternoon. The Fireweed 200, 150 begin tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And it looks like those racers might get a little wet. The National Weather Service called Sheep Mountain Lodge to say another inch of rain is in store for this area tomorrow. And so it looks like their sliding problems might not quite be over just yet. Bonnie.
All right, a mucky mess out there. Heather, thanks.